our program. Please join me in welcoming our next speaker to the stage, Senior Dr. Muhammad Arkam bin Chenai, the Chief Executive Officer of Megajati Academy, Silver Berhad. He will be presenting on the application of IR 4.0 technologies for building and construction. Please.
Okay, selesa gambaran, selesa kali terima kasih terima kasih kepada pihak PPKS khususnya dan juga pihak EdTech Bintulu atau jemputan pada pagi ini juga kepada PPKS yang hadir pada pagi ini. I've been given one task to teach, or not to teach, to share about this application of Industrial Revolution 4.0 technologies for building and construction on this day in Bintulu. This is my first time sampai Bintulu. Selalunya kat Kuching saja. Kena terlajak sampai Bintulu. Terima kasih banyak atas jemputan daripada PPK. Okay, but so this line is arranged by myself somewhere in February 2024. Is this related to Industrial Revolution 4.0? I think all of us been exposed on what we do on IR 4.0, but in this context, I will talk about how it can be implemented in our construction and building applications. So that will be the first part of our presentation. And secondly, we will look into few examples for technologies that can be adaptable for IR 4.0 in application. So in short, IR 4.0 refers to the current stage of the revolution. Industrial Revolution. I believe this will be one of the topics that we taught in the in the EdTech, I believe, and also other institutions also will talking about this topic because it's very important to make sure ourselves going towards the coming trends and technologies to capture. But the application of IR 4.0 not only limited to hands tools or technologies, is more beyond that. We will look into all pillars all pillars that involved in IR 4.0. Previous three industrial revolution, we can start with IR 1.0, then that will be on the mechanization of production, and then assembly lines and IR 2.0 and automation at IR 3.0, and currently 4.0 we were talking about IoT, most likely what the Internet of Things, how we can make everything connected to the internet capacity or capability, and a convergence of technologies such as AI, artificial intelligence, IoT, robotics, big data, transform the way business operate and interact with customers. These technologies are in the new level of automation, customization, and efficiency. That is basically how to make ourselves more accessible to whatever that we are looking for. For example, we have industry IoT in air conditioning application, for example. While that's still driving, not reaching our goal, we can switch on our aircon from the technology now before we reach our goal. So the one part of the application that they're very comfortable to make ourselves more comfortable. So it started somewhere in about 300 years ago when we started to introduce our steam engine at that particular point of time, and majority of the technologies evolved from that era, including the fundamental of engineering also coming from that 300-400 years ago. And then when they introduced the conveyor belt to make our process more in terms of numbers and efficiency of processing, when we start to use the conveyor belt. Before that, maybe manual, we need to use man to move a place to another. Now, when it been introduced in 1913, about 100 years ago, so the technologies evolved by having that. We can imagine that now at 1950s, when computer being added in our technology, but we are, I think we started to use computer at my age in 1998, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Other than me, maybe in what year we can use, we start to use in computer. So maybe
Computer had no screen at all.
no screen that time. Yeah, but in years 2000, 1995, 1995, to our market in Malaysia. So we started to use this computer somewhere in year 2000. It's more popular. Before that, all students will use the hand skill in writing. We do design on I mean the electrical, mechanical, whatever design, all by written. So later on, maybe you can have this typewriter to just to write. They cannot do anything, nothing much. I'm not sure you have it. So for example, our younger generation, so they never see that typewriter. And then computer came in about 2000. And then start to evolve in 2015. They start on this smart automation where the IR 4.0 being introduced at that point of time. And the purpose of, you can see from the any perspective, is actually to make ourselves more easy. That is the main purpose when we talk about the technology. So starting from 70s, 18s, 90s, and today 4.0, we use physical, cyber physical system security linkages that bring it everything on the net so that we can have fully control of whatever we want to control from there. And the automation is part of a very important transformation that we had somewhere in about 20 years ago. And now networking, industrial revolution, computer, internet, data, and also our powerful smartphones also can do so many things now. And this is again another perspective. And introduced by German in 2009, 2016, 15, 2016. So this no one can claim that the IR proposal is belong to any part of their work or their company or whatnot. So basically it's just terms been introduced by German in year 2015, represent the application of AI, big data, and Internet of Things. And these are some of the names being used in other countries. For example, we have in Sweden production 2030, industry 4.0 in the German, digital manufacturing for SME in, I think this is Poland, if I'm not mistaken. We have Switzerland, Spain, Italy, industry for future for France, high value engineering, high value manufacturing for Britain, and smart industry somewhere in Netherlands. So in Malaysia, we use the term industry 4.0, industry 4.0, but they're referring for the same, career. We are talking about the same thing, but by using different names. And these are about 8 pillars, the important pillars when we talk about IR 4.0. So some book refer about 5, some book refer about 6, some book 7, but 8 is actually quite common to use as pillars of Industry 4.0. We're talking about AR, Augmented Reality, Big Data Analytics, how we use data. There's a lot of data scientists now. They are looking for data on how to utilize data. So they make things better and better. When we talk about the application in the smartphones, for example, so data is very, very important. That's why be aware that if you search anything from your Google and you open up your Facebook will lead you to the whatever you have searched before in other platforms. So the AI doing that kind of thing. Actually, by right, they know what we are browsing. Yeah? So Google have a lot of our information, data now, and they know our character based on whatever that we're browsing. So it's very sensitive at one time, but at the same time, it helps in other categories. So that is why PDPA plays the role to prevent that kind of misuse of information. Cloud computing, we have this big data, big cloud computing system integrate, how to integrate the additive manufacturing to add in to improve the manufacturing processes, autonomous robots, simulation, cybersecurity, and IoT also part of it. So we talk about these 6 as a focus of our talk today. And for example, we talk about this new job creation. Not being, there's some job being abolished by the technologies introduction. So we can see few jobs is no more now. No more now. We can say, for example, Kodak. Maybe don't know. But we have Kodak before, 12, 24, 36, automatic picture, and then we need to drag, things like that, and then take another picture. So very, very, nak ambil gambar pun kena jaga-jaga, terus gambar dia Kodak. They who are having experience on that using Kodak photo film, so there was a trend that time, but no more currently. So we can take many as possible, and then we can delete, we can do some other editing, we can put filters, many things. We can make ourselves more handsome, more prettier by having all these filters, but it's not true sometimes. So now, from this industrial revolution, they create another set of skills that need to be added on in our job market. For example, data scientists just now, we have a lot of scientists behind the web developer, application developers, but at the same time, the role, for example, you can see the postman roles previously. Sampai pernah kat raya, kat ucapan, kat kahwin dulu by post. Now the function be changed to the, it's not me postman anymore, is it? Dia bagi apa? Delivery man. So they change the job function. And they become more sibuk. Dulu kita ada post laju saja. Sekarang ada lebih 2-30 post companies that been introduced in our market. So that is how the new job creation. Sometimes the abolishment of some jobs been replaced by another job. So we need to also take care of this kind of trends. So in our skill set, our educational purpose, industrial purpose, business-wise also we need to look into what is the anticipated programs or what is the anticipated courses that more relevant for current trends. So some business 30 years ago might not be, exist now or being more stressful because the new generation is coming in. And few industries also having the same problem. We'll talk about industri hiburan. Dulu kita ada mainstream saja. Mainstream hiburan saja. We have TV1, TV2, TV3. Now, I can assure you, our next generation below 10 years old, they don't know TV1, TV2, TV3 at all. They just know Netflix and YouTube because they got these two direct, button on our remote control, TV remote control. On how on earth that these two remote control, two shortcut button can boleh ada remote control? Supplier TV or the TV manufacturing, macam mana dia boleh nampak this two, how power it is? So you need to look into that. No more shortcut to TV1, TV2, TV3. Sometimes our next generation don't know how to buka TV. I'm not sure here, but it's happening in other states. So now, industrial revolution, this is how we can talk about it. I think we got 7 slides, but you can download it later. I don't want to touch one of them because we don't look into this application yet. Another technology you can read later. We talk about AR. What is AR? So something like this. So when you put your devices, the floating image can appear so that you can see from behind on how it can be used. For example, they can use this to look into how the operates behind that actual machine behind that. So this is kind of AR that been very useful currently. For example, if you want to go for application in sample house. With the Joruma developer. So sample house. Before you go for the actual sample house, you can view 360 on the net on how it's looks. So it's part of the AR application. These floating images coming from the image when you use this kind of goggle, then you can see also having here. In fact, we have this kind in the market before, but I'm not sure now. It's a Google Lens. Still on the market, we can see images floating in front of our screen to see whatever this is there already. And you can see from YouTube how people bercakap seorang-seorang kerana ada benda ni. You can walk, cakap seorang-seorang. Satu sekali sekarang. And the application of VR or AR is very extensive. We can use many ways. This is how we simulate the design by using the VR. We can simulate the design construction or how it looks using the VR. Everything can be very useful in terms of building and construction technologies. And again, VR also is part of it. And we talk about big data and cloud computing. This is the evolution of data storage to introduce to our friends over there, our younger generation. I don't think how many of us have seen this before. Saya tengok bos, saya mesti pernah tengok. Saya dapat radio pun saya sudah tahu. Jadi saya mesti sudah pernah tengok. Dan yang ni, of course, ramai pernah tengok. Ramai, saya rasa tak ramai juga. Benar tak pernah tengok. Belah sini mungkin ada dalam 30%, 40%. Yang ni sudah start. Yang ni of course. Yang ni of course now. Sometimes they don't know actually they are, store the document here. Kita punya the smartphone is there, everything is simpan. Actually kita tak tahu bersimpan kat sini semua. Yang disimpan dalam phone. Because dulu kita ada hardware, but now a bit abolished. And from there also the capacity of storage increasing, starting from 1.2 megabyte only. 1.2 megabyte. Boleh lama pun sudah 1.2 megabyte. Sekarang sudah up to 5 ZB. What is ZB? Zeta. Mega. Lepas mega. Tera. Giga. Apa tu? Tera. Giga. Oh. Zeta ke? Giga ke? Tak tahulah. Up to the capacity. And the price lower from 1,000 pound ini untuk simpan 1.2 megabyte 1,000 pound about 6,000 ringgit now. Now less than 50 GB free pula tu. Bagi free lagi. Lebih kecil. So dia punya sizing increasing, the pricing to handle is more cheap. Here the actual image of all these things. Boleh tengok tenang adik-adik. Adik-adik saja jawab, yang tak ada adik jawab. Umur berapa yang pakai uniform? Umur berapa? 20. Lahir tahun 2000. 2005 apa dah? Okay. Tak pernah tengok ni betul? Pernah tengok kat rumah Tok Wan? My grandfather house. So this is how we simpan the floppy information before, and now yang ni sudah popular lah. Dulu dia ada colors. Jadi semua banyak pakai ni, dia punya storage. Color biru, merah, hijau, kuning semua. Sekarang normal, simpan semua dalam cloud. And this is more popular, still being using for some people. I'm not using it anymore, but there are people still using it. Okay. And these are all the clouds that we have in the market now lah. Everything is there, Dropbox, OneDrive, and all those things lah. And these are how the storage looks like in the data center. But things need to be we don't know. So the data is been recorded somewhere. Okay, skip. This is how the computers looks like in early days, and this is how the computer looks like. Early days, and back in I think year maybe 1990s, buat main game Pac-Man saja kan? Dia buat tu lah. Kalau main Pac-Man, saya main saya tahu. Okay, this is how the evolution of the computer, and one more thing. Apa ni? Botol air. Botol air. Okay. I'm seeing this in 1994. Satu orang bawa pergi meeting dekat dia bawa dia letak meja dia pegang. Apa tu? Telefon. Besar macam minyak putih punya. Minyak putih atau minyak putih ni. Macam itulah. So that's how the phone was in about 30 years ago. 30 years ago. And kita pakai ni pun sudah best tau that time. Yang ni. Sebab mana ada orang ada. Kita saja ada. That time. And then become smaller, smarter. And now it's been changed to this is how the phone looks like before. This is the battery set. And this is the all this. Oh, Miri, is it? This is how we make a phone call. Just introduce, a phone call. What else? Are the version of smartphones? Starting from 76, siapa yang jumpa telefon, siapa yang introduce telefon, awak pakai je tau. Tanda apa? Gerakan. Okay. Boleh Ada betul senyap itu? Okay Ni how our phones was like currently lah. Sekarang ni dulu shock handphone ni orang ada kan? Ni zaman saya tahu. Memang zaman ni dia sudah pakai ni. Jadi mungkin lah tempat pakai. 3 kupang. Very popular time. 3 times seminggu tak macam sekarang. 2 jam habis. Seminggu lah. Bawa jatuh pun tak masalah. That's how the phone's been evolution. That's that. And how we use this a smartphone become smarter and smarter, easier and easier, more make, convert to use many things. So now with the application comes the Grab, for example, Food Panda, order, everything. Now marvelous world we are living right now. And time become more short. Alright, we move to another one, the system integrator. How we integrate things because the IoT or Wi-Fi will become the center of communications where the CPU need to work with other GPUs. So it's communicating between hardware to do whatever work they want to do. The network can become more important. How we use this time of technologies, and again the new job market will come. The new job market will come. Yeah. Tadi attack Bintulu khusus apa ni? Khusus apa? Sebut satu. Elektrik apa? Elektrik apa? Yang tipu saya tahu sikit. Elektrik kuasa. Betul? Elektrik kuasa lagi? Khusus apa ada? Kimpalan lagi? Mechatronics. Macam lagi? Oil and gas. Ekor apa dah? Canggih. All the best for you. All the best. So use technology in future. Everything you have sebut tadi semua kena guna dengan drone. Then how we connect with everything through one big cloud over there. So the big cloud must be there. The connectivity must be there. The internet connectivity, data, and of course we need to pay for the data and also Wi-Fi and things like that. Now become more common. Not play anymore. And smart factory also talking about how the robotic arms, mechatronic just now. HMI, what is HMI? Bukan hiburan minggu ini. HMI, mechatronics. Mana kau tadi? Sudah tak mengaku. Apa? Tadi sudah ada mechatronics dengan HMI tu apa? HMI mechatronics mesti jumpa. Tapi mungkin cikgu ajar term lain. Human machine interface. Human machine interface, sensors, monitoring tools, instruments, and also control system are part of the integration on smart factories. Other than that, we have smart homes, smart building. Berapa minit saya? 5 minit? Okay, kita jumpa lagi. Smart social web, business web, and blah blah blah. And smart home, where we living in now, currently smart home. Indonesia mampu lah, saya tak mampu lagi. Saya cuma pakai switch saja, macam sudah boleh pakai apps untuk buat ni. Semuanya ada dalam kita punya teknologi. This is very good, area for electronics, aircon, whatever it is, just compute everything, put into the web and make everything smart and control, things like that. Smart home. Additive manufacturing, we're talking about addition materials when we impose a new manufacturing products, and data, importantly, big data, data analytics, data analysis, how to use data to get more and more and more information, and data plays a really important role when we talk about business currently. Other than IoT, we are in the IoT already, but sometimes we don't realize. Malam kita makan satu benda yang goreng, dalam tu ada kentang, ada macam pintal-pintal, tapi kita tak tahu tu karipap. Padahal tu karipap. Kita makan apa, siapa tu makan? Dia explain dia punya description makan tu, padahal karipap aja kesusahannya. Sama juga dengan ni, kita duduk dalam IoT, tapi kita tak tahu nama dia IoT. It's everywhere now. You might be there. Tak mungkin ada orang tak dapat. 100%. 2023, last year, in 60 seconds, this is how our team is. Kita semua lah, masuk Cik Syam. Google searcher. Apa lagi? Instagram. Oh, saya tak ada, sebab saya tak ada account Instagram. Cik Syam ada. Lagi semua ada so 2023. So this indicate that kita dengan internet ni sudah dilekat. Tak boleh tak lekat. Bagi tidur cari phone check dulu. Check dulu. Buat salah aku. Siapa itu kan? Alhamdulillah. Betul check apa? Mana? Check apa? Bila pun kita bangun pagi. Message. Kalau dia jawab. Oh. Tengok. Ini baru kerja. Macam ini. Apa dah tidur? Bos sebab dia tak tidur malam. Dia dah panggil email pukul 4 pagi. Kita pun heran. Pasal bos kita tak tidur malam. Sekarang bila kita jadi bos, Islam memang hantar pukul 4 pagi pun. Dia pun sama juga. Okay, next. 4.40 ini healthcare can be used in any mail platform. I want to run it very fast. My time dah habis. IoT. Here. This fella dekat Munich. Dia sedang control the excavator dekat South Korea using IoT. Tempat lain, orang tempat lain, keren dekat tempat lain. So dia pakai the technology to use this. So it's happening. And cyber security of course come with threat to ancaman cyber security. Banyak kes penipuan, banyak kes salah guna data, banyak kes macam-macam. So you need to also be aware of it. And simulation, how can we use it in our building and construction in terms of simulation, where we can simulate things before it happen, and this is part of usability of the IoT or IoT 4.0 in our industry. It can be all engineering images to put it into the digital so that we can view it before being purchased or produced or manufactured. And this is one of the examples of how we can use these thermal images to see what kind of simulation that we use. The simulators in terms of engineering is very important. You beli that talent dengan harga yang mahal. BIM, for example, building information modeling currently is very in the high job market. So there is no issues of getting a job in terms of this technical knowledge if you have this kind of skills. This is part of simulation too. And autonomous robot, it will be part of the ending where we can use this robot autonomously to do the painting work, plastering works. Many of sometimes can be useful for them. So there's a technology is coming up for that kind of activities. And this is how we make a house while using these 3D printers. Well, house can be made this way. For example, these pictures, and here we are using 3D printers. But other method is also there in the market. So not only this 3D printing. Because there is AI, AI, the next industrial revolution, we'll be talking about our friend later. Another topic we'll be talking about AI, we are part of him. Is this the part of the future that we need to? So AI is covered all this. I don't want to talk because next week we'll be talking about. Alright, ni untuk connect dengan saya. Boleh sebelum nak connect dengan saya, sila. Dekat link ni. Lepas saya bagi slide. Saya bagi ambil dulu dalam besar semua ada dulu lagi. Sudah. Saya tengok nanti saya kena marah. Terima kasih banyak. Saya lagi minta maaf sama banyak bergurau. Terima kasih banyak. Oh, ni Cik Maria semua lagi. Terima kasih Cik Maria. Atas ikutan dan semua bagi daripada PKS dan juga daripada Bintulu Attack. Terima kasih. Pengarah pun ada kat sini. Sahabat saya baru jumpa 2005 dulu. Boleh bayang betapa dah seniornya dia. Dia lah sini. Terima kasih banyak. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Engineer Dr. Mohamad Arkam bin Cik Munaim for the insightful and engaging presentation on the education of
Thank you very much, Dr. Ceremony, for your warm introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us since this morning. And of course, we will head directly to our panel discussion. In the interest of time, of course, we will try to finish according to schedule. Because I'm sure they're not waiting for the lunchtime. And so are we. But we would like to make it an interesting discussion. We also would like to invite questions from all of you in case you have, because we're going to talk about a very interesting topic this afternoon. It's called transformation of industry relevant skill sets for the current and future generations of the workforce. All right, so I will just very quickly share that our panel here, you have heard them already presenting. They presented their part this morning and afternoon. Just to share that those seated on the stage are all from, if you talk about STEM and TVET, so everybody here is from the engineering background and also experts in energy conservation. That's why they are gathered here on this stage for this very important topic about the matter of industry relevant skill sets. So let me just share a bit of background information, all right, on the why are we going to discuss it this afternoon. Because ladies and gentlemen, we keep on hearing in the news that today there are many graduates around the world actually. They spend 4 years in university, 3 years in university, but when they graduate, they may find it a bit challenging to secure gainful employment. You know the meaning of gainful employment, right? Difficult to get a job because what they have studied may not be relevant to what the industry requires, right? So you can see from today's presentation that things are moving very fast. I'm sure you all would agree, right? Technology is changing very fast, and you also will wonder, by the time I finish university, whatever I have studied, is it still relevant or not? You know, that is the essence of developing what the industry wants, right? So we are not here to talk about different topics. We are here to focus on the development of industry relevant skill sets. Means when our graduates finish their studies, they can have a seamless transition from the classroom to the work, right? They want to be unemployed, for 1-2 years, and after that have to be reskilled or upskilled, reskilled especially, and then only then they can find jobs. That's why we have this panel of experts, all from the engineering field. Right? For example, I would give the detailed description. For example, Cik Zami here is from manufacturing, right? Manufacturing engineering. Next, from One Medicare, electrical also, right? And then I know Prof, we know him for many years, right? So it's also from electrical and also energy conservation, in the expertise in this area. And of course, Andy just now, he just heard his presentation on renewable energy, also from the electrical E&E field, engineering side of things. All right, so I think at the heart of today's seminar and also this afternoon, I think you can gather that that sustainability is important for all of us and for our future generations. So in the past, for example, there have been a lot of talk about all these things about solar energy, green energy, is it very expensive? Will it last long? All these type of talks. I think we have spelled that through the presentation that it is worth to do it. All these things are worth. The cost of production, for example, solar has dropped tremendously over the last few years, right? So it's no longer a question of is it very expensive or not, or whether it lasts long. So technology is changing very, very fast. So now even around the world, the companies are required to show that they have embarked on these sustainability initiatives, all right, to be able to qualify for certain projects. I think you all are quite familiar with that, all right? And also, have you heard of ESG? I'm sure I don't know whether our students have heard. Hopefully, they've heard of ESG initiatives. We need to embrace that to be able to function in the world today. All right. So I think you might be aware of the triple bottom line. We don't not only talk about profits. We need to talk about people and the planet. We need to take care of our planet. The Mother Earth. We need to take care of that. So before this seminar, we have decided to make things a bit more interesting, to reach out to the general public to ask what kind of questions would they like to ask this panel. All right, so these are not our questions, but members from the populace, right? Okay, they are a selection of people, not only from institutions, but even from the industries and general public. So I will maybe and then you're also welcome to ask questions. I will just start with a warm-up question to get everybody to answer. Right, so everybody just jump in, okay? All right. The question is, technology is changing very fast. Right? You wake up tomorrow morning, it's something new. Is that right? All the examples given here, and even from Gregory, is it? Yeah, you can see the technology is changing so fast. He mentioned about writing a poem to his girlfriend. He will use AI, but I'm not sure whether she'll get angry or not. They want to leave it to him to explain. All right. So Charles. So of course, this technology is changing so fast. But there's a question on a lot of parents' mind and the industry. Will our institutions like TVET institutions, universities, will they be able to prepare graduates for the world of work or not? Or by the time they finish their studies, maybe the knowledge is no longer relevant or could even be partially obsolete. So our panel here, the question for this our panel is, what must the government, referring to Sarawak, I think we narrow down to Sarawak today, what must the government, industries and TVET institutions do together to ensure that our graduates acquire industry relevant skill sets? They see it like a tripartite kind of cooperation. Where we have the institutions, we have government, industries. We're not working in silo anymore. The suggestion is that three together. So maybe we would like to hear from any of the panel. Anybody would like to start and then pass the mic round? Maybe I also pass the mic round. Anybody like to chip in?
Okay. I can first. Because this question. First of all, I'm Hizami, if you can recall. As an institution body where we provide training, okay. We are fully aware that new trends are coming in every year, every day even. So, just like I mentioned just now in my presentation, we've engaged with industries, we have engaged with manufacturers, just like the hydrogen car, the hydrogen bus that I mentioned just now. So, we take this information, take these experiences from industries, we put it in our curriculum, and we start from there. Because in the case of Sarawak, like Mr. Stanley said, we narrow down to Sarawak. To be honest, in Sarawak, our students are more the industries in Sarawak are more to conventional cars, for example. So the workshop just wants our students to work in conventional cars because EV is not a thing that yet here, okay, especially in Sarawak, not yet now. So if we were to go full on EV in our curriculum, our students might face the problem of just like you said just now, the information is obscene. Okay, so instead of doing that, we just slip in some kind of information about EVs, about hydrogen, yeah, in our curriculum to ensure that our students also, alhamdulillah, our employability rate is rather high, especially for Avisa. In last year, if I'm not mistaken, around 90%, yeah, our employability rate of our students, and we keep doing this, and in the hopes that our students can adapt to future trends. That's
This is from the perspective of the healthcare facilities. So for the healthcare facilities, we actually handling for some of the heavy equipment such as boilers, chillers, and also medical gas. So for us, there are some restrictions based on the knowledge of for the healthcare facilities, especially for the gas. I think at Sarawak is only one company that can only capable on handling gas or medical gas. For me, for us, the healthcare facilities, the skills not on hopefully the skills from the industries from the education system. Based on my experience and some of the interviews, there are some of them quite some of the skills are not really required in the facilities. For us, we hopefully that some of the education can adding some of the skills such as how handling the heavy equipment. And then the second one is the biomedical equipment. Also, the biomedical equipment maintenance in the Sarawak also quite little specialists that can handle biomedical equipment. Usually for us, we will send some of the technicians, some of the specialists to go to the Kuala Lumpur to join the seminar and also some conventions in regarding to the biomedical equipment. So this is the perspective of healthcare facilities. There are some of the facilities that does not require what we need to be what we need to require, but for us, this is the challenges that we have in healthcare facilities. So hopefully for electrical, mechanical, and also civil, we also need their manpower also. For EdTech, we also take some of their students. Also because the EdTech, I noticed that for their diploma certification, they also have attachment L1 also. So for me, it's very crucial skills, especially for hospital. Hospital is quite crucial role for the healthcare industries. So instead of we teach or we send them to the seminars, since they already have the skills, so we just can absorb the students into healthcare facilities sectors.
Okay, thank you, Hisami and Roderick. How about Prof? Andy, like to comment?
I think from my perspective, I would like to share from my own experience, right? I mean, student here is like almost like at the age of my son. Very old already. No parents. So for my experience, is I share with my son the same thing. I think when you go for college or when you follow education, it's actually your first job what you're going to learn is actually is related to what you learn in school, but that is only give you the first ticket to go into the industry. Okay, so you enter into the industry, the next thing you need to do is you always have to continuously learning. Okay, I'm a EE or even the computer communications graduate, but now I'm doing high power. I'm doing, very, 275 last year solar. It's not microelectronics, it's really high power. So through the life I learned to the process. So whatever you have today does not limit you to learn or to continue to upgrade yourself to do what you actually aspire to do. Because sometimes when you enter to the industry, you realize that this is not the path that you want to move, but you want to upgrade. But there are a few fundamental things that is important. For example, in any aspect of the industry, number one, certification is always the most crucial. When I come to Sarawak, I look for L4 license requirement because it's requirement by Sarawak. It's very hard for me to find anyone who is certified L4 by Sarawak State, ACB. So you see, when you go for that understanding, you certify yourself as a competent, talent, skill workers. You don't have to worry about you don't have a job. Definitely, you have a space for you. Okay, but you want to build into a more high tech, content development. And as just now I share, it's not everybody can to be the actor, right? If you want an actor, then everybody will act. Then who will watch the movie? It's the thing. So the thing is, you have to find your own fit. As long as you find your own fit, I think that is your fit, and you can develop that. So there's no constraint for that. God made us to become a community, human, not just to be one stereotypic type of person. So I think it's one. You have to remember. Secondly, I think the economic landscape is important. As now, I think our government is pushing a lot of renewable energy, digital economy. I think right on the wave. Every time you must remember, you ride on the wave. When you ride on the wave, you will not miss out. Then, of course, the rest of the thing up to you, your opportunity to learn, and then you have a company coming in to Sarawak to invest. Then you work for them, and then you have your own experience. Your track record built up, and that actually bring you to next level. So I just want to share that from my own experience. Is you don't stereotype yourself or label yourself to one kind. You can actually, we are humans. We have our creativity built in us. We can do a lot of things. Right?
Okay, thank you, Eddie. Prof, like to comment?
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, we need to understand the overall framework of our education system. We are referring to mainstream education such as engineering technology program, all starting from diploma, degree, master, PhD. There will be one group of people is actually pursuing under that kind of stream. But other than that, as what we are discussing today about the TVET education in digitalisation and technology industries. So understanding the industry demand is one of the important things. I can see the difference where I'm in here in Kuching or Sarawak or in Bintulu, or the drive given by the state government looking into this kind of new technologies is far from the whatever we are doing in the peninsula. Because I don't see any state in the peninsula doing the same thing what is having in Sarawak here. So a lot of new opportunity job is coming, but again, while we understand the way where actually we are placing, so we know where we should go. For example, this TV institution such as PPKS or Sarawak Skill or even other than Bintulu, for example. So you will get another good streaming coming from the skilled workers. Then they are supposed to be ready in the market, but the fundamental knowledge to me as go for the engineering degree student or go for the TVET students, for example, we have this SKM offered by maybe a Bintulu or PPKS. That is another groups of people that actually very global in the industry. So sometimes we look into traditional engineering program, there what we put a high respect, but there are issues on the salary, for example, this as entry salary market of the engineers, but some of the skill program, high skill, high tech, high TVET program, they can earn more from them. So that is where the landscape looks like, where we need to understand this. And of course, one more important thing, Mr. Moderator, is actually the lifelong learning spirit, and also support by the government to make sure everybody is accessible to certification and also program that we can. Maybe some of them need to come later, and some of them they have bright, or very we call it smooth journey in their education, but some of them might be a little bit late. So offering the lifelong learning certification for adults is very important too. Other we talk about the next week only. Thank you, Mr. Brandon.
Maybe that's one point. I think since we are talking about TVET here, I think one of the things that you don't look down. I mean, TVET you mean with skilled workers. In fact, if you look at China, just talk about China. In fact, China today there are so many graduate unemployed, but they are looking for skilled workers. That's why even the whole China policy now is moving into grooming more skilled workers to make up fill the market needs. And if you go into we talk about high income nation or income state, in fact, country like Australia, I think those plumbers, those electrical actually earn more money than just engineers, because these are all skill that is after. So I think it's really a balance. It's not that you are not TVET, then you feel that you are not graduate. No, it's not like I think the skilled workers, skills, talent, personnel. I think at the end of the day, you are still so after when economic growth. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Eddie. I think there are some interesting points here just now. Eddie spoke about the importance of skilled workers, and Prof also mentioned about basically continuous learning just now. Then that moves us nicely to the next question that we have received here. Now, one of the objectives of the Sarawak government in promoting STEM education and of course TVET is that yes, you acquire specific skills, true, but there's another part that it is also an opportunity to rise up the corporate ladder. We're not forgetting about that part. So as the speakers here have mentioned, and this question we will start from Andy. I don't mind, you're going to come this way because they asked me to ask a couple of managers and CEOs for their comments. So we are very lucky we have Andy. I know two CEOs here, and of course and two managers here who are they oversee teams, right? So the question is, yes, you need to have technical qualifications as highlighted by this panel, manufacturing, engineering, electrical and energy, and of course E&E there. Okay, it's important to have technical qualifications because it gives you a firm foundation, right? A solid foundation. But what other skills do you need as you progress? People also have aspirations to go up the corporate ladder, right? And company gentlemen here, as CEOs, they also look for people that can assist them to fulfill their objectives. So, in addition to technical skills, which are very important, what other skills are important for today's and future skill sets? Maybe could you comment on that? Yeah, because you need technical skills, but what other skills, for example, maybe your, like just now you say your own personal story, I'm sure over the years you have developed more than just engineering skills. Maybe I'm wrong, but would you like to comment on that?
I think definitely. I think of course the technical skill, technical knowledge is fundamentally what we have. But in this real world, because we talk about AI, we talk about virtual reality, we are all dealing with human. So when we have to deal with the community or even your clients or your boss, these are all human. So you have to have the humanity skill, how to speak, how to talk, and then you cultivate your positive attitude, how you interact with people, and these are all the human skills. So I think fundamentally, because at the end of the day, we are providing a service. Right? We are providing a service. So no matter in what discipline you are, we are all providing a service. Being a consultant, being a skilled worker, being anything, it's just a service to another, to your counterpart. So human skills is important.
Yeah, I mean, mentioning that you talk about humans because I know Eddie well. He was engineer in Intel before and Texas Instruments, and later started his own these businesses are not just business in Singapore. So where did those skills to start businesses and manage businesses come from? Where did it come from?
I mean, it's of course it's to you have to number one is I think the main challenges is your own yourself. You need to understand your own attribute, I mean your own characters, your own things. Once you understand that, then you need to work out your box. Sometimes, yeah, you don't need you really like to do it, but you have to challenge yourself to overcome it. I think this is where the spirit of this continuous learning, improving, get you going. Because you can always live your life easily. I mean, there's always a story saying that rich man go to the fisherman village, looking at the fisherman, the fisherman's, just lying there doing nothing. Then the rich guy just tell the fisherman, he said, no, I should invest in your business, you should go and grow. But at the end of the day, he asked so many questions that, at the end of the day, the conclusion is, yeah, better just relax. Because at the end of the day, why you want to earn more money? Because you want to be relaxed so that, you can have better, easy life. But I think the moral story is not to say, okay, if that is the case, you don't need to do anything. But the modern thing is what drives you to do the thing that you like. As long as you got that drive, I think, it's just to you have a mentor, you have guidance. I think the opportunity is always there.
There must be some drive from within also, very important to dig deep in your wellspring of perseverance, creativity, all that. How about Professor, in your role as a CEO? I mean, I'm sure there are some skills you look for in your people besides their technical skills, which are very important, of course. But something, like you, with your capacity as CEO, I'm sure you, besides your whole wealth of engineering skills, I mean, what other special skills have you acquired over the years, and what do you look for in your people?
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. In any business, what the most important thing when we talk about running a company is just after all we're looking at. I am interested to quote what we mentioned by Bintulu just now. 3 P's just now. You mentioned about people, planet, and one more is profit. So 3 P's, which is profit is the most important part when we talk about this. So in order to do that, whoever can contribute to get profit is highly demanding right now. So for example, to answer the question, any of our job that we're doing, actually we're looking into, first of all, computer literacy, regarding report writing, content creating, things like that. And things like that must be adopted. Secondly, we'll talk about product knowledge. You need to understand your product. You cannot avoid by understanding your own company's product knowledge. If you're selling goods or services, so both need to be understood very much by yourself. You need to adapt that knowledge very, very fast. And the third part is actually looking into the business opportunity, marketing. So marketing comes with many ways you can do for this soft marketing or hard marketing. There's a lot of other avenues to learn. There's also coming up with this kind of AI to assist us on this kind of marketing materials. So when we look into these 3 components, we talk about product knowledge, marketing, and report writing, and sales. I'm talking about sales, meaning that it's presentation. How you present your ideas, present your products, or present your services to get sales or to get, people to buy your idea. So that is actually the chain, the main chain when we drive a company. So in order to do that, whatever sub skills they're requiring for us to deliver the work, efficient, we can use the computer simulation. We can use many of other applications, for example. It depends on the industry. But one thing I quote from our AI presenter just now. So the current trend is looking into that. So whoever missed that part of AI imposed in their company somewhere will be obsoleted. Same goes to many industries now, where they wasn't here maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or Food Panda wasn't there, Grab wasn't there. I think that's 10 years ago, we don't have that. But at the same time, we can remember that a few of other businesses also tutup, because there's no more demand on that. So because they don't adapt to the current technology. Same goes to any business that we are in. Same goes to education as well. Skill training institution also need to look into this kind of latest development so that they can put themselves as at par as the industrial requirement, so that they will be more and more relevant to the market from all the times. So that is my response. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So that we bridge the skill gap as well. And then technologies, Roderick, in your capacity as a, I know you're an energy manager in your company, right? Yes. So maybe can you share like what other skills besides your engineering skills or technical skills are important? And not only for yourself, but for your people.
Sorry, it related to the other skills instead of the technical skills.
Because now the world is moving instead of I know everybody is calling it soft skills, but some companies are calling it technical skills and essential skills, right? So maybe there are some share your opinion.
For the instead of the, because the technical skills, it can be taught, it can be teach during our experience in our work. So for me, the most essential skills that I can see from the article is that how patient you are, and also you're passionate for you when you're doing your works, and also how your attitude towards your work. So it's very important, because when you want to do the works that you really not really when you're not really patient, or you not really care in what you are doing, then your results of your works will be very that's why for me the essential is actually the first is the attitude of yourself, and also the passion towards what you want to do in your life.
Attitude and passion. How about Rami? Because we know very well he facilitates the administration of an automotive and welding institute of Sarawak, right? Where they have EV, HEV, and hydrogen technologies. So why do you share with us what additional skills are relevant?
Okay, if we're talking about corporate ladders, it seems like most of the answers have already been taken up by our wonderful panelists over here. But one thing that I can advise on is it's discipline. You know, some people they are happy where they are. They are happy where they are comfortable where they are. I know some people they want to stay as an engineer, or they want to stay as a head of department, for example. And they have tak nak lah pun naik jadi boss, kata dia cakap betul-betul. So if our discipline is, if we know that we want to, that's the first thing, we must know that we want to climb the corporate ladder in the first place. And then we can change our attitude, we can change our passion on that, and look into our own discipline. People buy in on what you intend to do. Okay, so if you are making, let's say for our visa, of course we are selling courses to the students, but our intention is to provide certain skills for our students so they can have a job. So that's the discipline. If we know what we are passionate about, like Mr. Roderick said, then these are the essential skills that we should have in order to climb the corporate ladder. Other than the technical skills, like you mentioned, Mr. Roderick.
Again, a lot depends on the self.
I like to add
Yes,
sometimes when we have the attitude, we have the skill, the passion also. The role models also play a crucial role in our life. Sometimes we have to find our mentor to pursue what we are doing. It's like, right? It's like Mr. Andy told us before. Because when we have the patience, we have everything that we want, but we have no guidance on what we are doing, which is why the mentor is very important. You have to see what you want to be, what you want to will become in the future.
That's important to have the role of big brother, big sister, maybe would be important, to guide along the way. studies. Because in the interest of time, I got a very quick question here, but maybe the answers will just bring up our panel here. So the question is, in our nation, like something very proud of, but there seems to be a declining interest among students in STEM education, like science, technology, engineering, mathematics. I think it's because of the media. So because all our kind grew up on STEM, they're STEM, they're engineers and all that. So what advice would you give to the young generation? Fortunate that we have our students here from tech also involved in STEM education. I think they are good examples. But there are many students who are not in STEM, right? So what advice would you give to our future generations on the importance of why they need to embark on STEM related education? Maybe we can start from Izami. We go down before we take for lunch. Maybe,
Okay. For me, I pursue my engineering degree because I am interested on how the world works. Okay? How the world works on technology. So, that passion to STEM, and when I learn about engineering, particularly in mechanical manufacturing, I seem to be enlightened. When you can explain how something happening, it gives me a satisfaction. So that drives me to pursue instead. So what I did was I told my family that I want to go to into engineering. Of course, they say well, some engineering, mathematics. But I didn't go for that. I went for it, and alhamdulillah, I got my bachelor's degree, and I'm planning to on getting my master's next year. And so the passion drives me as a person to the curiosity of how things works. That is what STEM is. Okay? So that's my passion, and I think it differs from one person to another. But since we are having our tech students here, we more likely from the technical side of things. So maybe that can inspire them also to go further.
How about technologies, Robert? Your view?
For me, I think I can give to CEO because I'm still young. Yes,
To me, everybody is young.
I agree with that. Okay, I think again I'll just get back to advice I gave to my son. Okay, my son is actually enrolled into ITU AI and data science. Of course he got the intellect and he's quite smart, but he feels that the courses is very difficult, tough. So he say, should I just choose a easy subject rather than because the trend now is AI. So anything if you talk about AI, true or not true, people accept it lah. Okay, so to me my advice to him is very simple. In your next 4 years, 3-4 years of education life, in fact, that's the best time you need to learn the toughest subject matter in your life, right? Because you can overcome that. In fact, after you graduate, you have no time to really study those tough subjects anymore. And as a technical person, as an engineering engineer, I think you have an advantage of knowing those, we talked about 0 and 1 last time, but knowing those difficult terms that others may not necessarily understand or comprehend. So understanding is very important in the business world. When you have a good comprehension of the context of the business, it's very easy for you to pick up others. So if you want to do business, you want to do other things, you can just pick it up in your lifelong experience. But use that 4 years, use the time that you have now to learn the first job that you think is a challenge. Because that is a very good 4 years or 3 years that you have yeah, you should learn that. That's the advice.
That's good.
Yeah.
Prof,
Okay.
that's your comment.
Okay, to encourage people into STEM is to ask for the student now. I mean, the age where they need to choose either to go for STEM or go for art. But the overall ecosystem and environment situation that they observe when they are childhood, that is actually will drive them into the area that they are looking for. I believe at my age, maybe our my friends over here. So we were inspired by things like, you know, MacGyver before. Have you, ada orang pernah tengok tu cerita MacGyver? MacGyver before in 80s or early 90s. So that is where we are looking into that area because inspired by something that happened in our childhood. And if you look into the children's childhood, they are looking into, you can name it, what they are looking for, famosity. They are looking for commercially, apa kita mean, influencer. So they be influenced by influencers. So these influencers, if they got a good influence, they will be looking into that influencer's job. So if influencers doing things like beauty, things like, so they will go towards that direction and believe that actually the next generation coming up. So the whole ecosystem need to be adjusted. I'm not sure is a revamp or what, but the environment that around us, TV's channel and the direction of the government. I mean, maybe, of course, parents, community, schools need to look into that kind of, nurturing rather than go straight to the people or student at 16, 17 years old. It's quite late for them to choose it when they reach to that point. I mean, age, to point of age. So to go back to the primary school and try to go back to the fundamental science, mathematics, and more fun, more not so alien to learn. We're learning sometimes, and then they don't understand what they learn because they don't have that interest. So when they have the interest, of course, they'll try to overcome whatever problems that maybe happen during that journey. Thank you, Mr. Roderick.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Roderick, good night. No, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from our panel, and now at this time we will welcome questions from the audience. Yeah. So, anyone from the audience, would you like to ask a question? Oh yeah, please. Anyone can help the gentleman in the mic. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum dan selamat petang. Saya Nuruddin daripada Sarawak Arkam, Political Manager di Sarawak Arkam. Sebelum ini saya kerja dengan Petronas MLND for lebih 30 tahun. Last position as Principal Electrical. Okay, tahu nak tanya ataupun actually few things I want to mention. Jadi kita sebut pasal color brown, grey, blue, green. When I mention this color, that's real. In industry now, we are looking into buat betul-betul buat plant to meet that color. My plant now is brown. Next project will be blue. What's the green? I don't want to mention what detail. And also the same thing about of course, so now there are few projects that and funds to look at relating to the clean energy power. And this is what even mentioned by the Premier. Is what the thing they need to do. And talking about the student kan, tadi banyak komen pasal technical learning apa semua minat yang di laut cakap. Which is very true. You spend your time masa you young to really belajar ilmu, belajar dekat branding. Really focus on that. Once you grow in the industry, you belajar juga about different things. So I call it mind mapping. Very selective of what you want to learn. And masa tu lah you try to, mungkin kalau pakai AI lagi bagus lah. Actually the moment nak pakai mind, yang engineer, yang technician, whatever they learn tu can hang out. So I can behave like AI. You know, to pick up whatever the best from that and to do things whatever is started by a boss or by the or always by Premier. Premier dia tak buat thing is not like zaman dulu. You need to think of something. You prepare your paper. You present, go up. Premier dia cuba cakap, kamu mau lah ya. Saya nak buat ini. Remember one time he mentioned, saya nak buat ini. Dia sebut salah you sepanjang bin Saladau on 3 kilometer jetty. It's normally present to the premier that somebody want to do that. That's how it goes nowadays. That means, even dalam learning pun, dalam edtech ataupun university, so need to match this expectation. Okay, of course, like basic engineering, we still need to go there, but you need to tambah lagi on the green energy, for example, on the AI, for example. But whether you can finish in university or not is a good question, depending on the syllabus. The other option is now industry also opening the postgraduate course. You have the basic engineering course, lepas tu you buat postgraduate course, the course that including of course other than green energy, green energy. So mungkin buat contoh how to model a plant, for example, which is very betul-betul pakai is used practice in the plant when we start engineering. Tadi kan our professor pernah ada tunjuk. And yeah, so those are not the conventional punya learning lah. But it doesn't mean that kalau because we have to go through this one, kita need to forget about the conventional. Kalau you tak ada fundamental on conventional, then we can go for the green or AI punya technology. So fundamental first, but in your mind, you need to go for AI. But the other thing I want to say is, for younger generation, start to learn, you boleh baca buku lah. Start with why. Simon Sinek. Everything you do, sebenarnya start with why. Kalau you tak tahu purpose of doing things, jalan you sesat. You need to know kalau you nak pergi Miri, betul-betul nak pergi Miri, then you drive to Miri. Bukan, saya nak drive the car, tapi tak tahu nak pergi mana. I don't know whether you know this is quite philosophy, tapi itulah. In anything you do, start with why, understand the why, then you move. Even iPhone pun sebenarnya, they start with why. Why iPhone lagu sangat? It's because, because dia lambang prestige. Bukan sebab iPhone is better ataupun MacBook is better than other laptop. iPhone better than other phone, no. The why is you don't feel the prestige using the product. Okay, this.
Thank you so much. Round of applause. Would there be more questions from the audience? Maybe we can have one more before we head back to our Master of Ceremonies. Anybody like to ask a question? Okay. But maybe they're asking why is there no lunch? Okay. So on that note, because we are out of time, so thank you very much for the sharing. So that is a shining example of sharing of ideas. So we learn also, right? Important to have a foundation and build on our on our knowledge and competencies as we move along in life. Thank you very much for sharing your views. There was some additional tools or wisdom that we can use to enhance our strategic initiatives. So on that happy note, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our panel members, Zami here, technologist Roderick, Professor Arkam, and of course Mr. Andy Low for sharing many wonderful insights with us, right, this afternoon. I think they are fresh perspectives, insights. You can see. I think what I cherish is that their own personal experience. Yeah, that we can do our part to facilitate the transformation of an industry relevant skill set, for the different sectors of the industry, so not only that for the benefit of of Sarawak and our nation as a whole as well. So ladies and gentlemen, before we sign off here, just to let you know, there will be another sharing session this afternoon. All right. So to prepare the panel members, maybe I let the cat out the bag. We're going to discuss a bit on the Sarawak has set a target to have 500,000 skilled workforce by 2030. But currently, I think we are maybe halfway there only. So what can we do, to facilitate that the achievement of that target? So on that note, I'd like to thank all our distinguished panel members, all luminaries, in the different sectors of the industry. And with that, I'll hand over to our Master of Ceremonies. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to our moderator, Mr. Stanley, and our distinguished panelists for the insightful and thought-provoking discussion. Esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your participation this morning. It's now time for a lunch break. Lunch will be served in the hotel restaurant located at the left side of the hotel main entrance. So we will reconvene for the afternoon session at 2:30, where we have more exciting presentations for you. Please ensure you are back in your seat by 2:50 so that we can start properly. Thank you and enjoy your lunch.